Y'all, I am back with the recap of Tia's new show, My Next Act, Season 1, Episode 6. So, the episode starts with Tia. She goes on an audition, wasting her time and the people who have to wait on her. Why? Because she shouldn't have been there. Okay? She goes to this audition. It did not go as planned. When Tia walked into that audition and she took a seat, did y'all notice something? Did y'all notice that the other actors look at least 50, 60 years older than her? And it quickly became clear that she wasn't what the casting director envisioned, because he was surprised to see her. And he asked her, "Girl, what are you doing here?" "Tia, girl, you knew that that role was for a great grandmother before you walked your tail into that audition." And he even said that he didn't know why they would send her on that audition, because the role was for someone more mature. So Tia was essentially turned away because she didn't fit the role's look. And she seemed a bit surprised, even though it was simply just a matter of she not matching the character type. They wanted an older looking actress. And she took it a bit personal, almost as though I felt like she felt as though she was being penalized for looking young. And that wasn't the case. If the role was for someone in hospice or a grandmother in hospice, Tia, girl, you don't fit the role. Your looks does not align with the character. So in Tia confessional, in my opinion, she had mentioned that she was once told she needed to lose weight. I felt as though Tia was trying to victimize herself and make it seem like she was being body shamed, when the reality is you didn't fit the particular vision. Why? Because the actor needed to be anorexic and you wasn't. Therefore, lose the weight. So Tia then goes on to say she's not afraid to show her gray hair. She's not afraid to show her weight gain after having, given birth. That's all fine and dandy. Don't show up to a High School Musical auditioning with a head full of gray hair. And if you know that they're looking for a Sweet 16 type model, the outfit they have prepared is for a size 6. Don't show up to an audition looking like Miss Piggy. That's it. Then she goes on to say that when she gets feedback for things she can't necessarily change, Heifer, you can change the color of your hair by dyeing it. You can change your weight by dieting. It's that simple. If you know the role requires someone slim, lose weight. If you notice it requires someone fat, gain it. People do it all the time. Stop it. Meanwhile, Tia is still being a little over persistent. For the third time, she asked Cairo if she wants to act, knowing damn well that child doesn't want to. And Tia says if Cairo doesn't want to act, she's okay with it. Are you sure, Tia? Because why do you keep bringing it up? Cairo has shown that she just isn't interested. And by asking this child every day, I feel like that Tia is trying to change her mind. Maybe if I keep asking her, she'll say yes. That's what Tia is hoping for. And if Tia turns around and asks her for a fourth time, I wouldn't be surprised if Cairo eventually says yes. Not because she actually wants to, but because she feels pressured. Girl, you know how it is. When someone keeps asking you the same thing over and over, even after you repeatedly said no, eventually you just get tired. And at some point, you'll probably say yes, just to make them stop asking. Tia, leave this child alone. So Tia and Cairo are painting when she gets a text message from Charles. Now, I'm assuming it was about her standing him up, because Tia said she doesn't want to deal with that right now. Her main focus is on Cairo. So Tia says she's having a great time with Charles, but with everything she's juggling, dating isn't her priority. And here's the thing. Tia initially wanted to hold off dating, but Natasha and Sierra encouraged her to go out, put herself out there. Now, I believe Tia may have thought that it would be a good idea dating to cure her loneliness. But here, I really commend her for knowing herself enough to prioritize other things other than the pressures of dating. With that being said, I don't think we'll be seeing Charles anymore. I don't think Tia was ready to date anyway. Her friends made her think that she needs to get out there and start dating again. But it should have been on her time and not theirs. Tia, stay true to yourself, honey, and move at your own pace. And don't let these friends of yours encourage you to do things prematurely. Move at your own pace. Because you can meet the right person at the wrong time, which will make that person the wrong person, if that makes sense. So Tia is having a conversation with Jackée. And Jackée was serving some tea in this scene. Did y'all pick that up? So Tia is reflecting on a conversation she had with Jackée. Jackée told her she can't have everything all at once, which is not true. I disagree with that. Rihanna is one of the people who have everything at once. The money, the man, the career, and the babies. Beyonce's another one. Ciara's another one. LaToya Luckett's. The list goes on. Okay? And she said that someone has to be home to nurture the ego of the man. Now, in my opinion, I believe that was the first cup of tea that was served, and it was directed at Cory. And I think she was implying the sacrifices that Tia had to make in her marriage. She had to sacrifice parts of herself, her career, her ambitions. Why? To support her ex-husband. Because as Jackée will state later, Cory was not happy in his marriage because he wasn't working. So Tia had to sacrifice certain things in order to keep the balance. And Jackée tells her, you can't sacrifice your career in order to balance things out with Cory and in order to boost his ego. Because Cory may have felt inadequate in this relationship. He may have been emasculated because of society's standard for a man to be the provider. And that can really lower a man's self-esteem when his woman is making more money than him. And at the time, Jackée said he was unhappy because he wasn't working. So Tia then tells Jackée that during the conversation they had at that moment, Jackée didn't know that Tia was already having doubts about her marriage. And Jackée tells her that Cory mentions to her that he was not happy in the marriage because he wasn't working. Now you have both Tia and Cory who were clearly unhappy. Maybe divorce was the best decision. And as much as we hope things will improve, staying in a relationship where both of them are unhappy, unfulfilled, can do more harm than good. And sometimes it's better to move on, find peace, than to keep hoping for a change that might never come. So Jackée makes a good point and says that if one partner is more successful and makes more money, it can lead to tension in the marriage. And this could have left Tia, paying all the bills. It could have left Cory feeling inadequate and feeling like he's not pulling his weight. And there also could have been a power imbalance. Tia could have been one of those women that threw her weight around because she was paying all the bills, thinking she was the man in the relationship since she was making more money. And Cory may have felt the need to submit to her. I've noticed that when men don't make a lot of money, it triggers their self-worth. I don't care what nobody says, it does. In the conversation between Tia and Jackée, it is clear that Tia did everything she could to nurture his ego, as Jackée put it. Tia's sacrifices were part of her effort to make the marriage work. And I don't think it's her fault how Cory felt as a man in the relationship. And just as it's not Tia's fault that Cory was unhappy. And it's also not Cory's fault that Tia was left unfulfilled in the marriage. And at the end of the episode, Tia said that she left a situation that didn't serve her. And I'm sure Tia put in a lot of effort, but I think that emotional weight of their circumstances, the financial imbalance, as Jackée talked about, Tia's success compared to Cory's success. Tia, it seemed like she wanted more in the relationship, and that became too much. She wasn't getting it. She wanted more than Cory was able to give. I wouldn't say willing, but she wanted more than what Cory was unable to give. And I think this situation is an example of how sometimes love just ain't enough. But you know what? I would surely like to hear Cory's side of the story. What was marriage like for you? I want to hear from him. I want to hear Cory's truth because we've already heard Tia's, but I do want to hear Cory's truth. In her conversation with Jackée, Tia does open up about feeling guilt over the divorce. And Jackée tells her that women often feel that way. We tend to want to please the man and make them happy, even at the cost of our own well-being. And Tia agreed with that, which makes it seem like this was more than likely the dynamic in her marriage to Cory. Pay attention to the clues. Everything Jackee says she agreed with, and she also added something to it. Tia then adds that when you can't make them happy, then there's really nothing you can do. So I do believe that Tia tried her best to make Cory happy, and she just couldn't. And sometimes, no matter how much effort one person puts in, happiness can't be forced or created by just one partner. Cory, you needed to, come on, you had to do something. It takes two to be happy. This is why I need to hear from Cory. What efforts was Cory making to make this marriage work? Even when Cory does his interviews, he doesn't give us much. They tell us something, but they don't tell us what really went on in the marriage. It ain't our business. But still, it would help. If we knew, it would help a lot. We're pretty much at the end of the episode. Tia decides to have a heart-to-heart with Charles. Right now, she says she's focused on herself, her career, and her children. And she feels like she needs to be upfront about where things stand between them. Tia and Charles, they did have the conversation, but she kept it private. She mentioned that she would tell Charles while she enjoyed their recent dates, she felt that they were moving too fast. I believe that may be true, but I also believe her decision was influenced by her friends Natasha and Sierra. Once again, Tia lets other people's opinions shape her decisions. This isn't the first time we've seen this. She let Jerome talk her into taking Cairo into acting. She let Sierra and Natasha convince her to get a dating app, which she wasn't ready for, and she said it, but they made her do it. Meanwhile, Tia meets up with her busybody friends, Natasha and Sierra, and she fills them in on the latest with Charles. And Tia tells them that she totally forgot about the date, only for him to show up at her place unannounced. Now, it makes me wonder, did production have a hand in him showing up at this woman's house? Or did Tia make Charles feel a little too comfortable that he felt he could show up at this woman's house? Either way, her friends had a lot to say, especially about his outfit. Charles showed up in a suit, it happened to be green, and he even brought Tia a corsage, which I thought was a sweet gesture. But Natasha, she thought he was trying too hard, which I felt, I thought it was sweet. What I didn't like and what I thought was completely out of line is them poking fun at his attire. I didn't like that at all because none of them, Sierra, Natasha, or Tia, are the best in fashion. I'm just saying. I didn't like that at all, to talk about how he was dressed. Through all this, Tia did say that dating Charles had made her realize she's just not ready for dating yet. For a while, she said she was just focusing on finding someone to fill a void, but now she decided to focus on herself. I'm here for it. Kudos to Tia. I'm here for it. To work on yourself before jumping into another relationship, girl, I'm here for it, and I'm proud of you. So, the closing of the episode, Tia invites her busybody friends over for ladies' night to show her appreciation for their support at the beginning and during the end of her divorce journey. She opens up about a powerful moment the day after she first signed the divorce papers. She says she woke up crying, not from sadness, but from the feeling of blessing and relief, because Tia shared that she was grateful to be able to leave a situation that no longer served her. Something that she says she knows not every woman has the opportunity or the courage to do so. Hello, Rashida. You better come on here preaching, Tia. Tia also said that there were days that she felt like she was underwater, weighed down by the emotions of it all. But then she talked about the strength that comes from having a sisterhood. Amen. Friends who can lift you up when you're struggling. Amen to that. There's nothing like a real sisterhood that can lift you up when you're struggling and feeling down. When you tired, girl, they will carry you, honey. When you're feeling weak, they will be your strength. When you can't see the road ahead, honey, they will guide you. There is nothing like a sisterhood. There's nothing like it. You can be at your worst, but once their sisterhood comes together, they will lift you up, honey. There is nothing like it. It's one thing to have some friends, but when you have a sisterhood, that's on a whole nother level. But I am really proud of Tia. We're only 6 episodes in, but I am already seeing a little bit of growth, and that's all that matters. If you guys made it this far, and I hope you did, give the video a thumbs up, okay? And I would love to hear what you guys thought about this episode. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Bye.